Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be trying out some new things I purchased from the drugstore. I didn't buy everything for a full face, so I'm going to throw in some other things I've been trying out. So before we get started, I'd love for you to subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. I got this new headband from Caudalie, and I feel like Louise from Bob's Burgers. I don't know what to do with these things. Do I tuck them or do I let them fly? I'll let them fly. I feel like Louise. Okay, so I didn't purchase these, but these came in at the perfect time. These are the e.l.f. Color Correctors. And this morning I went out for a walk. It's super beautiful and wintry outside. It looks like a winter wonderland, but I didn't cover my face well enough, so I got a little bit of windburn on my cheeks here. And I also have some other healing acne scars and my under eyes that we can test these out on. So these are fun, and color correcting can seem intimidating. I remember I felt super intimidated by it when I was learning all about makeup, but the easiest way to know which one you need is by looking at a color wheel. So if you have dark under eyes that lean a bit blue or green, you can use an orangey color corrector like these. The orange one is best for deeper skin tones and the peachy one is best for lighter skin tones, and they'll help to correct the discoloration under your eyes. You can also use the orange one for brow covers as well as to color correct like a beard shadow, because beard shadows often lean a bit more blue, so this will help to balance it out and cancel out that color. And if you have some healing acne scars or your under eyes are leaning more purple, a yellow one will help to brighten that up and neutralize that discoloration. Green is awesome at color correcting redness, so this is what I'm going to be using on my little cheekies here. And I wish there was a purple in here as well, because that helps to brighten up your skin, especially if you have some dullness. But I'm going to be trying out the peachy one for under my eyes, the yellow one for my acne scars, and the green for the redness. And you don't want these to be full coverage. You just want it to be sheer enough to kind of correct that spot, and then you can add your foundation or whatever, and it's not going to shine through what you have going on. So I'm going to take a bit of the green on the back of my hand because this seems to be quite pigmented for a green color corrector. And I'm just going to take the tiniest amount and I'm going to lightly dab on my windburn here. And you can see already how effective that is. And this seems like a really nice formula. It has a very thin consistency. I did try out a few of them the other day, so this isn't my first time using them. I found when I directly applied it, I'll show you, like that, to a red spot, it applied way too much and it looked too vibrant. So going off of a little bit on your hand is much better because that's going to shine through foundation. And I'm going to do the same thing now with the yellow because I have this healing acne spot right here that leans a bit purple. So I'm doing the exact same thing, taking a little bit on the back of my hand. And blending that away. And now I'm taking the peachy one and I'm going to apply that same technique, applying some on the back of my hand and taking my finger, and you can see I have kind of like this purpley bluish tone right here, but not in my inner corner. I'm just going to apply it where it's needed. You don't want to add too much of this because then you're going to be going in with so much more concealer or foundation than you actually need. You want this to make your life easier so you don't have to go in with too much. Okay, I went more in depth with the color correcting tutorial than I intended, but now let's move on. So I picked up the NYX Blurring Tint Foundation. I picked up the shade 05 Vanilla. Hopefully this is going to match because it looks a little orange, but hey, that's okay. Maybe I can mix in a little bit of the blue to counteract that. Okay, it's gonna be good. And I really like how these two products look together. Super cute. And I'm going to use my BK Beauty 101 brush to apply. And important, when you're going over the areas you color corrected, you want to bounce your brush. You don't want to swipe it because that's just going to move that product around and your hard work is going to be useless. This feels a little bit dry maybe. I'm not really loving this immediately. I feel like it's very texture enhancing, although I think it's supposed to be the opposite. So I'm just gonna go over with a sponge. Maybe I applied too much. I feel like my texture looks exaggerated. There's some dry patches it's catching on right in the center of my brow here, which I wasn't aware of. And my pores in the center of my cheeks right here look really enhanced. Hopefully you can see here. I feel like it's making my skin look very dull. We'll see how that sets in but if it continues looking like this, I know I'm not going to be reaching for it. So now for my concealer, I picked up the Essence Keep Me Covered Concealer, and I grabbed the shade Warm Shell. This one says it has buildable medium coverage. So let's see, I'm just gonna start off with a little, and I'm going to blend that in with my sponge. That one looks quite promising. It blended in really nicely, no issues whatsoever. My under eyes look nicely corrected. It's not a very blurring formula, it just makes my under eyes look good. And a little bit of it went a long way, especially since I had that color corrector. It did its job really nicely. I'm going to see how it builds. Yeah, and it builds up really nicely. It's quite flattering. I dig it. Now I'm going to take a nice fluffy brush with my e.l.f. Prime and Stay powder to set my under eyes. To bronze and contour, I'm going to do this duo again. I really like the time I used this combo. So I'm taking the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Bronzer in the shade Vacay Mood. And this is kind of like a more contour color for my skin tone. And I'm just going to put some in the hollow of my cheek, blending upwards for a lifted effect. Speaking of Vacay Mood, I'm going to be going on vacation from February 1st to the 13th. So please let me know what you would like to see, because I have to pre-film, I think, 6 videos. So let me know. I actually might have to pre-film even more than that now, because right before I started filming, I got an email inviting me to my first brand trip. So that might be happening. I don't know for sure yet, but yeah. Every video recommendation, leave them in the comments. So now I'm taking my Revolution Eye Bright concealer in the shade Deep Caramel. And with this, I like to work in sections because I don't want it to dry down so quickly, because then it's hard to blend it out. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm liking the NYX foundation. I feel like products are going on top of it a little bit oddly, and I'm just really aware that I have some dry patches all of a sudden. And I started off with a very hydrated base from my skincare. It seems to have sucked all of the moisture from my skin and made it evaporate. I don't know how it did it. It is kind of weird though. Like, I do look diffused, like my skin looks blurred, but at the same time enhanced. I don't know what the science of that is. Like, I don't know how that's happening. This is not applying the same way that I know. So while I was roaming around and looking at the new things, I spotted a bright light in pink. So I wanted to see what it looked like compared to the Charlotte Tilbury. This one looks like it might be a little cooler, but I wanted to see anyways. But before I do that, I'm going to highlight with the bright light in Strobe Champagne. Oh, also, I wanted to tell you guys this because I thought it was so funny. The other day I got a really cute comment about my teeth. They were like, I really like your teeth, don't ever change them, and I really appreciate that. I don't have any plans on changing my teeth, but something did, because that night, like probably half an hour after reading that comment, I chipped my front tooth. I don't know if you noticed, but it's like a little rounded. It's not a square. I don't know how I chipped my tooth. I was just watching TV and I ran my tongue over my teeth and I was like, that feels a little different. Freaking chipped it. Have no idea what I did. The only reasonable explanation I have is maybe I like chipped it on my water bottle. But even so, I don't think I did. I feel like I'd remember the bonk. Feels weird. I don't like it, but I'm getting it fixed tomorrow. But I just thought it was so ironic that happened. Yeah, that highlighter really stuck down differently than usual. I don't know. I feel like my skin looks patchy. This is not going the way I wanted. But let's see if this is a good dupe or not. Oh, this might be a lot more pink. Not bad though. The Charlotte Tilbury one is definitely more peachy in tone, but like the shine is very similar. This is the Revolution one and this is Charlotte Tilbury. So the finish is very, very similar. If anything, this one looks more glossy, whereas this one's more shimmery. I'm kind of happy that it's a different tone. Fits in my collection better that way. So since it's applying weirdly with the sponge tip, like how the highlighter went on and the bronzer, I'm just gonna take some in the palm of my hand. And I'm using my Quo Beauty angled foundation brush, and I'm going to apply it this way because I feared that by applying a couple dots with the sponge tip that it would just sink right in to the foundation and get stuck. So this way I'm not going to give it the opportunity to do so. I'm not sure I like that tone of pink just on its own. I don't think it looks very smooth on my skin either. So I'm just going to take some of my setting spray to hopefully kind of rehydrate things, and maybe that will help. Now that that setting spray has set, I'm just going to add some setting powder to the center of my face. And I'm using the e.l.f. one again, same with my under eyes. And I think I'm going to add a powder blush on top of this just to make things look softer, because it's looking really not great. I know I'm probably going to get comments wishing I had washed off the NYX product, but I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt to see if it was going to sink in nicely or what, and I wanted to see how it worked with other products, and now that I've seen it, I don't like it, and it's also good for you guys to see. So I'm just going to add a pink blush on top of this. This is not one from the drugstore, but I just needed to even that out. It was bugging me. And the blush I used, just in case if you're curious, was the Cosmetics Heaven's Glow Radiant Veil Blush in the shade Cherub. And I'm also going to use a powder bronzer to smooth things out. This is the L'Oreal Soft Matte Bronzer in the shade 300. But now it's time for the brow intermission, so please enjoy. I want to do a light eye. I feel like I've been doing a lot of bigger eye looks, but I'm just going to use my e.l.f. No Budge cream eyeshadows, one in the shade Plateau and the other in Sand Dune. I'm starting off with Sand Dune with this flat little detail brush from ColourPop. It's the E29. I'm just taking a small amount of that, and I'm just going to enhance my lash line. I'm starting more in the center of my lashes, and then I'm pulling inwards as I get to the outskirts of my outer corner. I didn't want to take this too far out. I wanted it just on my lash line, like so. And I'm doing the same thing with the darker one. Just gently tapping directly in the pot. And doing the same thing. Usually I flick outwards, but with this look, I'm flicking inwards because this is just to enhance. And I'm going to take Sand Dune again just to enhance my lower lash line a touch. I'm taking a bit of my highlighter. I'm just going to put some in the palm of my hand. I wanted to enhance the glow of my lid. So I'm just taking a tiny amount with my fingertip, and I'm drawing it up from the center of my eye. And for my mascara, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Big Mood mascara in the shade Deep Brown. I wanted to give you guys a little update about the e.l.f. Lash and Roll. I really like the effect and how it builds. It's really pretty, but it does crumble. Not a lot, but it crumbles. Like near the end of the day, I'll have a few flecks of mascara under my eyes. They don't smudge, thankfully. They're easy to like flick away, but just wanted to let you know it is a little crumbly. So that's why I'm opting for the Deep Brown one. And there's my quick little simple but flattering eye look. Now let's move on to lips. And I didn't pick up any lip liners, but I picked up one of the last NYX Fat Oils. This one's clear, unfortunately. They do have a few other shades that look stunning, but my local place only had the clear one. So I'm going to try out the formula and go on a hunt for the tinted ones if I like it. So I'm going to line my lips with one of these. I don't know which one. So this is Cosmetics Bunny, which is a bit peachy maybe. And the other one is Makeup Forever Boundless Berry. I think Boundless Berry works better. And because I want more of a diffused lip line, I'm taking an eyeshadow brush. I'm just going to sweep across that line I created. And since this is a clear lip oil, I'm diffusing this into the center of my lip just so that there's no line of demarcation or like an obvious lip line. The packaging, super cute. I love the lime green, and the applicator kind of looks like the Dior one. I'll whip it out. Let's see. Identical. I almost put that applicator right into here. That would have not been very good. Ooh, it feels more lacquery than some other lip oils. It feels a lot like the Dior one. It has that resistance when you're applying it, but it doesn't feel sticky or resistant feeling on your actual lips. I like to do that a bunch of times with new glosses or lip oils to see if it creates any of those gross gloopy lines. But I think this one passes the test. That's nice. I do like this texture. The smell is a little strong. Hopefully that dissipates. It smells like something from my childhood. It smells like maybe, oh, what is that? It smells like maybe a Hubba Bubba gum flavor, or kind of citrusy, watermelony. What is that? But here is the look. There's qualities I dislike and qualities that I really enjoy. I think I saved it with the layers of powder and setting spray and such. But yeah, that foundation I think is a no-go for me. I'm willing to try it out again, but I don't have the utmost confidence in that product. I'm happy I layered on things I've tried before to see how drastic of a difference the application was. Like the application of the Revolution concealers and bright lights was awful. I really did not like working with these on top of that foundation. And I just feel like things are sitting weird. It just feels dry. I brought you in as close as I can, but hopefully you can see like my forehead does not look great, like especially in this area right here. There's some areas it's clinging to, but it's looking a lot better. But I had to layer like so many different products to make it look good, which I don't have to do with other foundations. So if it came between this and another foundation, I'd probably grab the other foundation. Super cute packaging though, but the actual formula is a no-go for me. But moving away from that foundation, I really enjoyed the e.l.f. color correctors. They were very effective. They did their job. I like the formula of them as well. They're super seamless. Like I feel like they'll blend into many of your routines really easily. I don't think this is a product that I'm going to implement into my everyday routine. I think I'll gravitate towards these when I want a more perfected base, or if I had no sleep. It was very effective under my eyes. Speaking of my under eyes, I actually really enjoyed this concealer. I feel like I will be using this quite a bit. The formula was really nice, easy to use. I really liked its buildable coverage. It was just simple and seamless to work with. So thumbs up for this one. And now that I've had a chance to talk with this lip oil on, I really enjoy it. I'm going to go on the hunt for other colors. I need to see what the tinted versions look like. Really cute. It feels really nice. It feels very, very similar to the texture of the Dior ones. And the gloss is so pretty. Every time I look at my monitor here, I just look at my mouth. And lastly, for the blush from Revolution, I'm going to have to give this another shot with a different foundation. It applied weird on top of that, like the other ones. I feel like this video was a bit of a roller coaster, but I appreciate you coming along with me. I really hope you enjoyed it, even with a couple hiccups. If you did, make sure to give this video a like. I will link everything I used in the description down below, so feel free to check that out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!